What's up, guys?
What's up?
Back with the gang.
Welcome back.
Got a special
And
guest
today-
for you.
We got a special guest.
Wait, let me announce her
Go
properly.
ahead, French.
We have the undeniably sensational,
What else?
beautiful,
What else?
Let's
talented
go. Let's go.
Chef Lay Alston.
Hey,
That's
clap,
right.
clap. Chef Lay the building.
And guess where she from, y'all?
Okay. Where you from?
Queen.
Queens. Big Queens. Let's go.
Big Queens.
Big
Get the
Queens.
money.
Yeah,
But yeah, she came all the way out here today. She even brought us some treats for us to try. Made
Oh yeah, some sweet potato cornbread made by
Ooh.
yours truly.
Oh, that's fire.
Okay.
Sweet potato
Sweet
cornbread.
potato.
I
All
can't
right, we
wait
gonna-
She
to
gonna
try.
give me a UTI.
I'm gonna bust them joints.
I'm about to fuck that shit up.
Oh man,
Gotta
I
take
do
one
look
for Pookie,
good.
too. And it look, I ain't never
Nice.
seen decorated
Sweet
cornbread. That is
Ooh,
fire.
That's
Y'all
fire,
be
right?
careful, we not here. But yeah, so this is our second episode of season 3.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to spice it up. French talked about you, and she's like, "Yo, we have this interesting woman. She's like a cook. She showed you food. And she gave you
A chef, not a cook.
A chef,
Yeah,
yes.
chef. You know
Put
what I
some
mean?
respect
Yeah,
on her
Chef
name.
Lay. She was like, this is. We looked it up. We was like, yo, let's have her on the show. I think this
Yeah.
is wonderful
Dope,
because
man.
it's not a lot of representation like you out there.
Yes,
you know?
I don't. It's there's people that do it, but not a lot of people come out and push themselves how you do. So the fact that I even seen it, and you're in competitions, I see you doing your thing, and she's an instructor. First of all, let's talk
Not
about
only is
that.
she competing, but she's winning.
Yo, winning the competitions. Let's
Talk
talk about that.
part.
So
Yeah.
and she's a black woman, and we love our people. We love everybody. Let's be clear, but it's Martin Luther King Day, so we have to have a black woman on here. You know what I
Facts.
mean? So we're gonna get all the way into her, but let's start it off. How's everybody feeling today?
Oh, we haven't done this in a while, right?
Yeah,
So, y'all want to do a little mental check?
yeah.
to see how
Mental
we-
health check.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
we
let's
doing?
We can do from 1 to 10. How I'm feeling mentally. I'll say I'll give myself a 7.
A 7. Not Jesse.
A 7.
Not Jesse. Jesse's always at a 10.
I'm 7. A 7. Let's see why. My reason why I say a 7 because it's the new year. It started the new year, and I'm trying new things. So I just got into coding. I set that as my goal, coding, and also picking up a language. So I'm doing really well at that right now. Coding is not easy though. I thought it was
It's stressful.
Yeah, that shit is not. It's like because it's learning like really a different language.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to really like if you mess up on one problem, you got to go back. Like the computer's not gonna let you go through it. So that and I think I'm this year is a big year. You know what I mean? As far as like I'm turning different age, and I think I'm matured a lot. So it's just realizing setting my goals for the year and seeing what my future holds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I feel like I'm a 7. I'm not in a bad space. I'm in an okay space. I think I'm looking forward to the space that I could be.
Okay.
So that's more of like nervous and
Got it.
you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you're
Some
anxious.
interest, something new. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's always like
something
that.
new. Yeah.
What language you trying to learn?
Español.
Espanol.
Me llamo Señor Jesse. Okay. All right. Mi vivo.
Oh,
Nah, I'm
God.
not yeah, but yes,
Said mi
Español. Yeah, so-
Yes, good job. Good job, my brother.
No, mi
hermano. Mi hermano.
Hermano. Yeah.
Listen. I don't know nothing, okay?
So, what about you, this? How you feeling?
I honestly, as compared to where, we left off and stuff, honestly, I'm feeling I want to say a 9.5. I don't want to say 10 because I don't want no bad juju, but I feel like a 9.5 because I'm happy and I set up a lot of, I haven't smoked. I quit smoking weed, so my brain fog is gone, and I honestly feel good about everything that I've been getting done, and I'm attending, I got to go to my little cousin's first fashion show this weekend, so I was excited about that. So I say a 10, a 9.5. How about you, Chef Lay?
Ooh, I'm like at I want to say a 7.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not too bad. I know I've been better.
Right.
It's also the start of the new year, so I'm feeling like a little anxious about where this year gonna take me, all the things I want to accomplish.
Got a lot of goals.
Yeah, I got a lot of goals. And that's where I'm at with it. But I'm super excited.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Okay.
At least
It's
nobody's
crazy.
not lower than that. So what we got over here?
Y'all know me. Usually but I don't know. Now I'm like a 7 and 8 too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
first
why it's
you-
crazy.
you
because
up
she's
right
the-
now. You
she's
usually
usually
that
the
one.
one.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
usually the one that's like, oh, I'm 7 and 8. I'm
Okay.
feeling too. And me and
Okay.
Jesse be the one like always super positive and all
See
that.
how
Right?
it switched. All right.
It's
Why?
okay.
Why you feeling 7 and a half?
Just because I got a bad soul. That's the only thing. Other than that, I'm fucking
Man's
great.
got his first one and he's tweaking.
I haven't caught one in like shit 5, 6, maybe longer than that.
Okay.
I don't really get them that often, you know.
Let's explain to the audience
Everybody-
exactly what a bed sore is.
Yeah, bed sore. Well, them damn things can kill you. I know that.
AKA
So it's basically a sore that you,
pressure
it's a pressure sore that you can get mostly on your buttocks from sitting too long or sitting on like hard surfaces. Because I have like
You can get it anywhere.
You can get it anywhere.
Depending on your level of injury.
Right. I don't have a butt. Like it's pretty much a bone back there. Like because of
Muscle atrophy.
the muscle atrophy that I suffer from. So yeah, I caught one from the cushion that I have on my shower chair. So I had to switch cushions because I only sit on the what I'm sitting on right now, which is the Roho cushion. But I had a regular, like some regular kind of cushion, and it's like the couch type of material inside, really soft. And I was good when I sat on it for like 10 minutes, but the cover ripped, and when the cover ripped, now it's getting wet by the water, and it's just really super. So yeah, it's done, and I sat on it too long. And yeah, and I'm like, my spasm been going crazy. Some told me to check back there. So I put the phone back there. I was laying my stuff. I looked, made a little video.
It's a gunshot.
Oh,
Yo, shut up.
yeah, I felt it just made me a little fake depressed, but but it made sense as to why the spasms were going crazy. But once I get this up off me, I'll be back.
You'll be back. It ain't
I'll be
nothing.
back going crazy.
He already got all his shit. He gonna be good.
It's crazy about a bed sore, kind of like, because I know every time I got a sore or something like that, my body, it's something wrong. My body's telling me something's wrong. Like, I don't know, you get chills or you spasm a little more or something in your body.
You be fake depressed too.
Something fills up.
Because the pain, I think it's just the pain, like just living in the pain, like because the pain is more intense and it's hard to stay. It's hard to be functional when you're in pain, right?
Yeah.
All day long. So
It's a mental thing.
yes, that's what it is. So yeah. So if y'all see me lift up and do my little pressure reliefs every now and then, don't pay me no mind. I'm not
just taking
urinating
care of
nothing.
himself.
I'm just making sure my butt is like.
Nigga, I'm not urinating.
Yeah, I just gotta make sure I take some pressure off
Imagine
my
that,
ass.
just pissing on the show.
Yeah, right. So yeah,
Piss on
that's
you,
it.
nigga.
But, yeah, so I'm 7. I say an 8. I'm still cool. I ain't tripping on that, man.
But,
Yeah.
all right. So what's up, sis?
Well, today, especially
French
since
fries?
we have another black guest, I wanted to talk about how a lot of this, I said another black woman guest. A lot of the times black women get coined as just, we're not feminine. We bask in masculine energy and we're just too, like they make it seem like a lot of times we come off as the problem. We're the aggressor, we're the issue. But a lot of us never got the chance to be soft. You know what I mean? And I grew up in a 2-parent household, but even so, my mother didn't grow up in a 2-parent household. She grew up with, just her mom and my grandmother and stuff. So it's like, it was harder for her to let my father be the man when she came from a strong, a strong woman. And if that's all the examples that we have, a lot of us don't get the opportunity to bask in our our feminine divine energy because we have to be the man in a lot of situations. A lot of us are single women taking care of ourselves, I'm taking out my own trash, you know what I mean, paying our own bills. I don't have time to just sit there and relax and be sweet to people all the time because I constantly have something to get done. I have to make sure that my son's good, I have to make sure that I'm good, I have to make sure that my bills are good, you know what I mean? So it's like, when do we get the time to just be soft? When do we get the time to, I love being strong, but I never had a choice, you know what I mean? A lot of people like, oh my God, you're so strong. What do you do? Yes.
Right, all the time.
I want to sit there and be getting princess energy. I want to get catered to. And I do know that there's people out there that will do that, but I also know that I have to take the time and heal myself and put in the work. And that's why I started therapy and I started talking about, my problems more because I came on here and I preached to you guys, you know, like, it's okay. We got to take your time. But I never took the time for myself, even from being injured. I just put myself, a 15-year-old girl suffering from a gunshot wound, and I said, I went right back to school. I went right back outside. I went right back partying, drinking, smoking, not treating myself as someone who's injured. I treated myself as just a 15-year-old girl, and that caused me now, because now I'm healing the inner child in me that was harmed at that young age, that didn't feel safe, that didn't feel protected. So a lot of the times I realized, like, even when I try to talk to a man, or you know what I mean, or try to date, I do come off aggressive sometimes. I had somebody say, you know, like, that's how you get yours. And I'm like, you know what, that I don't want to be that person. So this year I'm working on, you know, basking in my feminine energy. I don't want to be so masculine anymore. But I also know that it's important to keep your masculine energy, because we're supposed to have both. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a balance, but we're supposed to have more feminine than we have, you know, masculine, and that's okay. But I do know that I have traumas that I have to heal from in order for me to, you know, feel more comfortable with doing that. And I also know that it's going to take time. And I also know that the right people bring out the right stuff in you. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave it in God's hands. But I just want every Black woman, every woman, period, because it's women all over the world, regardless of your race, doing a lot. You know what I mean? And we don't get enough credit. We just get, you know, we supposed to be happy, we're supposed to work and do all these things, and everybody wants the traditional woman, but it's not enough traditional stuff going on. The woman is going to work too, you know what I mean? So we both working, we both got to pick up the kids, but somehow you want me to cook, clean, pay the bills, take care of all the responsibilities, and still be sexy, you know what I mean, and still be smiling and still be happy when you come home. No, maybe I'm tired too. So it's okay. Take that time for yourself. Women, try to be more understanding towards the men as well, because it's not their fault that we were raised a certain way. You can't blame the man for how you were raised or what you've seen. Only thing you could do is heal yourself and then get with the right person that's going to bring that out in you. Yeah. And that's the French facts.
That's great. That's great. I just had this conversation with my friend. I'm like, I know it's going to come a time where, like, you know, especially women that are, like, within their masculinity, that I know sometimes you probably just want to break from that. Like, you don't want to be like that all the time, because nobody should be like that all the time, right? Yeah. And it's just, also, I think it's the real definition of femininity, right? Because femininity doesn't mean weak, soft, right? It doesn't. And masculinity don't always mean strong. Right. It doesn't. Right? We have to so I think we have to reprogram of what that means. Like, not one is less than the other. Right? When you come together, it becomes a balance. That's what makes it perfect, right? Yes. It makes it perfect. So, you know, it's I like right now you see on the podcast, like, gender wars is going on. It's like, oh, you don't do this and I do that. It's like,
and we'll never get nowhere. We'll never get nowhere like that, just playing the blame game. Instead we have to be more self-aware. You know what I mean? We have to say, you know what? I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? And two people could be right at the same time without agreeing. You know what I mean? Like, it's perception. Right. You know what I mean? If you're a man and you had to grow up a certain way and you've seen your mother or your father operate a certain way too, then you might wanna be soft too, but you can't either, because you gotta be hard. You can't express yourselves. And I see a lot of men struggling with that as well. So I'm understanding of that. I see things from both sides. So now I'm like, you know, especially raising a son, I don't ever want him to feel like he can't express himself because mommy's too hard, or you know, I don't sit there and tell him you can't cry, or I tell him, you know, if you're gonna cry, make sure it's because your feelings are hurt or somebody's hurting you. Don't cry for no reason. You know what I mean? And always speak about it. And that's what's happening, because I'm working with healthy communication with him, because I don't want to pass down traumas or generational curses.
I feel like we labeled it like as femininity and mass. It's just being human, right? Like we have emotions and feelings, right? Like if I'm I don't know, I guess relating to my woman or whatever, right? It's not me like being feminine or nothing, right? It's just, I feel like it's me just more so just like having compassion and empathy, right? And just being, that's it. Just having a human experience, like, right? Yeah. That's what I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. Like,
Chef, do you feel like do you feel like you have to be strong all the time, or?
Yeah, I think I've like been strong my whole life, since like before I was even able to talk. I come from a very large family. My mom was a single mom, also had her own vices and her own experiences that she wasn't able to be a certain way that I needed from her when I was a kid. So I was always like, was getting into fights, always like being aggressive, making sure that people wasn't crossing any of my boundaries. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, it almost feels like I'm so strong that it's unhealthy, a weakness of mine. You know Like
That makes sense.
it's like I'm too strong that I can't accept help. I can't ask for help. I can't, and it's just like that's not where I'm at anymore. I'm not trying to do that. Like, it's not cool.
I get what you're saying.
I feel like a lot of like we only know what we're taught, right? So I feel like a lot of times we have to like I feel like now in order to heal from this stuff we gotta strip down and unlearn everything that we learn and relearn the stuff that we need to keep going. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I do. I even like how Frenchie said earlier, going to therapy and stuff, and dealing with the inner child. Like I had to go back and deal with a lot of past trauma and have certain talks with myself, like answering, okay, what hurt you back when you was a kid or this, and like, and I had to go through each like relationship that meant a lot to me, like from my mom to siblings to this person to that person. You get what I'm saying? Like, damn, at what point did you and this person go bad? And you got to make peace with all those things. Yeah. That's the only way that you gain healing from this stuff. Like,
so the word of the day is just healing the inner child.
Healing. It's healing. It's healing.
The word of the year, the lifetime, because it's never a stop point on healing. You have to constantly heal because it's a lot of pain in the world. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of things. It's a lot of just, if you look on the news, it's just terrifying. Every time I open my eyes, I see something sad, children dying. Yeah. The world is, the icebergs are melting. You know what I mean? Just like rhinos are being killed. I'm sick of it. They're extinct. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of just negativity out there. So it's hard to sit there and just be happy and positive when you see so much around you, when you literally see the world set in a blaze in front of you. But we could go on with that forever. Today we got a special guest. So let's get into it, y'all. She brought us some treats.
We gonna get to that.
We gonna get into the food, but let's talk about you. So how did you start getting into cooking? Like, what made you?
So like I said, I came from a very large family. The only person in my family that cooked are my grandparents, like both of my grandmothers. My mom never cooked. So I always would make stuff for her when I was a kid.
For your mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
did you have a lot of siblings?
Yeah, my mom had 10 kids.
So you cooked for?
No.
Okay, I'm about to say
I said for my mother.
Just for your mama.
As I grew older, I started to cook for my family. But when I was experimenting in the microwave and on boiling water and stuff, now I was just cooking for my mom primarily. And I was watching Food Network all the time. Like when my siblings wanted to watch Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, I was like, put on the Food Network, please.
Rachel Ray?
Yeah, Rachel Ray, my girl.
I love her pot.
Locked in. Wait, switching up. Okay. So I've always found an interest in it. And when I was 12, I took my first cooking class at my after school. Wow. And this one, I was commanding the class. I was telling people what to do. I was like, oh yeah, this is my shit right here.
This is what you're into.
Yeah, this is what I'm into. And then I applied to this high school called Food and Finance High School.
Okay, where's that at?
In Manhattan.
Okay, I think I heard of that.
Was a blessing for me because I grew up in Queens, Queensbridge.
Big Queen.
Yeah, all that. But my environment was very toxic, very just not where I personally needed to be. So the fact that I was able to get into the school in Manhattan was
So you felt like that was your getaway?
Yeah. Yeah. And we talk about timing, right? And when we got evicted when I was 14. I never even shared this.
It's okay. Open up. Listen, you gotta speak it true. Safe space.
We got evicted when I was 14, which was my freshman year in high school. And at the time I was like, what the fuck? How I'm gonna live my life and not have nowhere to live? Right. And we did the shelter thing for a little minute. But I feel like I got evicted from that place for a reason. I'd probably been a teen pregnancy. I'd probably been fighting all these girls all the time. That environment was just not good for me.
So that was when you left Queensbridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I look at no shade to anyone of my peers when I lived there, but I look at them now and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have been nowhere where I am now.
Girl, I told you I used to live out there and I still know a couple. If I would have stayed out there too, it probably would have been a difference as well.
Different situation. So when I went to culinary school, because I was living in shelters and I had a uncomfortable living environment, I would stay in school till 7:30. Whenever the principal would leave, my assistant principal, matter of fact, I would just stay there. And he was like, oh, you should do the culinary competition class. And I did that. I started competing to get into college, to win scholarships to get into college. And then I was like, yeah. Wow. It's up from here.
That's just you always pushed yourself. You didn't let nothing deter you. And I think that's what you're saying. You didn't give yourself that chance to be weak. because getting evicted at 14 is hard.
Yeah.
Listen, when you come from where I've we've all dealt with it before, honestly, and it's not an easy. Well, I've dealt with it. It's not an easy thing. So the fact that you pushed yourself and you still was able to do that, and even staying in school, some kids don't stay in school. They get to the streets.
Yeah.
They leave the streets. Even going to school in the city, you could get into some stuff out there
so
too.
many other things you could get into. Some people find other things to cope. You know what I'm saying? And usually it's drugs or hanging out with friends. It's always some troubles in the
So
city
the fact
to
that
find.
you use
that
cooking
use that.
as your outlet instead of
That's dope.
other, you could have been cooking crack, but instead you started cooking some food.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So it was food and finance,
Yeah, food and finance high school.
and then you graduated from there, and then you went to
Monroe College.
okay.
Which I'm now a chef instructor. Actually, like a full circle
What?
moment.
Nah, that's fine.
Say that louder. I'm sorry, I don't think they heard you.
Put some
So that's
respect in.
so
Say,
quick.
say that's a real accomplishment. Say it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm a chef instructor at the school I graduated college
Woo.
from.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
That's what's up. Yeah.
How does that feel?
It was a little nerve-wracking at first because I feel like I'm so close to the students in age, right?
Yeah.
But my experiences is very vast, so I'm able to share that with them. But at first, my first day, I was like, ugh. And then also, I'm not really. I'm learning to be more comfortable with public speaking and like sharing myself and opening myself up.
Well, you're doing good right now.
Thank
so.
you, y'all. Thank you. So that was nerve-wracking. But then once I got into it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool.
You got this. But I'm talking about aside from just like how does it feel to teach it? Like how did it feel like mind-boggling teaching at the school that you graduated from? Like wow, God is so good. Like did you know that's what you were gonna do?
No.
Like teach at that school?
No,
Or?
I had plans to move into another state like a month before I was asked. Like matter of fact, I applied to an apartment in another state the same day my dean, who's also my mentor,
Asked you to come back.
asked me to come
That's
back.
crazy.
And I was like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
okay, cool.
And you was like, hell yeah.
Look at God.
At first, I had to give some thought because I'm like, I had this, we think that we had all the plans and like God's plan is always better than our plan, right? Like I'm like, I'm
Amen.
leaving, I'm not doing this no more.
What God
And
wants for
then
you.
he's like, no, we're gonna do this and this is what's gonna happen. So when he asked me, I was like, all right, bet. That's cool.
That's what's up. That's dope.
I have a question. You went through school and culinary school in a wheelchair, right?
No,
Oh no. Okay.
I got injured in 2020.
So
okay.
can we talk about that? What happened?
Yeah, also something I don't really talk about often, but
Safe space.
Yeah.
Only what you're
and I feel
comfortable with.
comfortable with y'all. But I got shot in my chest,
Okay.
and
And how old were you?
23 days before my 25th birthday.
3 days. Wow, you were 24.
Yeah,
And you were a bystander.
we could just say that. Yeah.
Okay, for the safety.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she was a bystander, and you got shot, and it hit.
It went to my chest, my lungs, my kidney, my diaphragm, and then through my spine.
So you are T10.
10.
T10,
Okay.
so it went lower.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why you're able to
Yeah.
move around and do stuff. That's
Yeah.
a blessing.
Yeah, I'm blessed.
Are you incomplete or complete?
Complete.
Okay.
You know, I don't really understand the complete and incomplete because I've seen people that
Me
are complete
neither.
get stuff back. You know what I mean? And I've seen
Yeah.
people that's incomplete get stuff back and then not get stuff back at the same time. I just feel like God is your first doctor and your final physician, so he's the only one that can tell you
right.
what you have. So this is mind over matter, and a lot of us, they teach us to get so accustomed to the chair in therapy, and I feel like that's something that therapists have to work on because
And
you
the
have to
doctors,
imagine.
too. The doctors that, like,
doctors-
the doctors that spoke to me, they're like, yeah, you're never gonna. I'm like,
They were
huh?
negative.
Yeah,
That's
it's very
so
negative.
that everybody that's in a chair knows that conversation, and that shit will break you if you let it like coming in just in the room, and as soon as you wake up, because I was in a medically induced coma.
Literally,
As soon as
same.
I woke up, can you feel
same.
this? Can you feel that? Oh, you're never gonna walk again. And they're really calm with it too. And some of them literally will laugh in your face. I've had the most ignorance of people, so I can only imagine what they, with all of those
See,
conversations
my case
we
was
had.
that case, like when the doctor, it was a residency doctor that told me all the stuff, and he came in. It was like 6
A
o'clock.
resident, they couldn't even
Yeah.
have a real doctor.
Let me tell you, it was like 6:30 a.m. in the morning. He came. He said I was not supposed to do a ton of things, and it's crazy. I took that and it made me become who I
fuel
am
you.
today.
Yeah.
It made me like, you said I can't do this. There's only one thing left on my list that he said I can't be able to do, and that's have kids, and that's gonna happen.
He
right?
told you that too?
Yeah, he told me. My father was right there. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was 6:30 a.m. And it was out of the blue. It wasn't like they didn't prepare me for it. And I was young. I was like, 18, 17. So that's a whole lot to take on. I don't know what kind of injury I got, right? He's like, he said I was not going to have sex. It was a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to be able to be by myself. So it was like a ton of thing. And then he said it with such a straight face. Like, it was no emotion towards it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You telling the 18, 17-year-old that person, I don't even know my injury. So what I did, I took that as fuel. So everything, I made a check. I got a mental check note in my head. I'm like, boom, just checking off everything that he said I couldn't do.
And that's obviously what we all did.
My case was a little different. They never told me.
Oh shit!
I was
you
never
thought you gonna walk out the hospital?
Never told, bro. Like, I was just sitting there.
You just sitting there.
And one of my best friend, my child friend from elementary school, he used to just he was always in there with me. He just fall asleep and then whatever. But I remember one day and I was just in there. They never told me, but the way everybody was acting, I'm like, something is up. Like, and I never got out of bed. They never tried to help me. And so I was like, nah, something is up. Yeah, something is up. They think I can't walk or some shit. And then I remember, I said to them, I was like, yo, Bones, my feet moving, right? You could see them, but they moving. And he was just like, yeah, bro, they moving. And them shits was just like stiff. They was just like, and I was just, it was more mental. It was a more mental thing. I was just like, yo, look, you can see it, right? And he was just like, yeah, I see it. And I know them shits was not.
So, question, how did each of you get injured? I know you said you got
we all.
I got shot.
Three of us.
It's a gunshot party.
Yeah.
Hips, y'all.
Something I realized,
a gunshot party.
This is like a culture thing a little bit, but like I feel like everyone that I've met that are African American, Black, brown people that are injured, like they have gotten shot. But every other race that I've met,
car accidents, freak accidents,
tree jumping,
surfing.
It's like why is that the case?
Like,
why
that's
we can't
real
just put
sad.
the guns down?
Yeah.
So I believe that's the case because bullets don't have names, right? So it's so many different parts of the environment that you can get impacted from negative or positive, right? So say if you're not the gangster or shooting the hood, right? You still can get shot because you're in that environment. Say if you are the gangster or shooter, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get shot because that's your role. So it's just the environment.
Or you could just be defending yourself.
Yeah, so it's sad that just the environment and like the jungle, sometimes you're going to get eaten by the snake or the lion. You can't stop that, right? Yeah. We have to change our environment, the way we think. And
I
that's
like the way
you know.
I like the way you said that, like the jungle, because this literally, New York is a jungle for real.
Concrete jungle.
And the way you said is you could get eaten by a snake or whatever, and it doesn't matter if you're a nice little chipmunk. You know what I mean? Anything can happen to anyone. So it's sad that it is a cultural thing, and that's something that we have to work on. But just loving, like I said, it starts with loving ourselves so that we can love each other, and that's the real reason why a lot of this happens. And then they throw these guns in the hood. You think that it's not you know what I mean? They put that out there, they implant it, and they put us on top of each other. We're all so close. You know what I mean? So nobody gets time to really get space or see if we really actually like one another. And then sometimes it's not even a problem. We just everybody's going through their own shit. You know what I mean? So everybody's dealing with their own problems. Some people don't know how to not take it out on people, and that's sad and it's unfortunate. But again, love yourself so you don't harm others.
Yeah, going back to what you said, loving yourself, when you love yourself, that's what I realized. You don't want to hurt anyone else, right? Yeah, that's I don't know. You don't want to speak down on anyone. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You don't want to. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's why you can tell when someone is really hurt because they try to make someone else feel bad. You get what I'm saying? They speak down to other people. It's like hurt people.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I'm not. What do you get out of that?
No, you could. I was just gonna say if even me, because I've been I've been hurt and I've said hurtful things. You know what I mean? So it's not like nobody's perfect. We've all been the victim and the victor sometimes. But for you, I was gonna ask you, how did it feel when you heard those words? Because you were in culinary school at the time, right?
No,
this was before.
I was working as a chef instructor in LA. So
wow. I
came to New York because my mom got sick and was transitioning. So I came to New York and I was here. And after my mom's funeral, the next day I went back to LA, but it was just bad. It's in my mental space, so I was just not okay. And I felt kind of like I abandoned my family, my rest of my siblings, especially my little sister, because I'm also always the strong one. I'm always making sure I'm there to support people, and especially my siblings. And
so you're in LA doing your thing. You hear your mom's dying.
I come back. No, she actually got sick. She wasn't dying at first. She got sick. I came back. She was fine. She was back and forth to the hospital, but she was fine. Then she ends up transitioning, which was hard for me. But I also feel I'm still not haven't processed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's what happened. I was celebrating my brother's birthday with him, and that happened. I got shot.
On your brother's birthday?
Yeah.
Wow. So this is after your mom.
This is a month and a half after my mom's funeral.
So all of this happened back
this is like
to back.
2 months. 2020 was crazy. Y'all know, for everybody, 2020
Everybody
was
was
crazy.
crazy. And then COVID's going on.
Yeah, COVID was. Yeah,
What month was this?
July.
Wow.
And then, so I wasn't really. It's so weird. Like now that you ask me that, nobody's ever asked me that. Like I just was worried about moving forward. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, if that's what it is. I didn't feel like my life was over. Because I also, when I was in the ICU, they told me like all of the things that happened to me, like how many times I had to get resuscitated, like all the process of where I was to where I am. I was like, oh, I'm cool. Like I ain't die. I was supposed to die. Y'all was telling me that. Y'all was telling my family to prepare me to die. So like I'm cool where I'm at. Like I ain't too.
Your mom was looking out for you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay. So I asked that question about being in a chair while going to culinary school. What are some barriers that you face? Like, was it a little different? Like, as far as like, did people look at you different? Did you have to get certain like necessities to make things easier? What was like some barriers that you?
So after my injury, I was home, and then I started my own business, Soul and Will, which is an upscale mobile restaurant concept that I'm developing.
Period.
It's accessible mobile restaurant concept that I'm developing.
And what is it called?
Soul and Will.
Okay.
And I'm doing that still, but when so after my injury, the school that I was working for
In LA,
they didn't reach out to me for my mom. They didn't reach out to me when I got injured. So I was like, oh, these people working for the man ain't it.
you see, because they'll see you could die and they'll replace you the next day.
So I'm like, that's not the type of environment that I want to work in nor have for my own self. So I started my own business, and then when I was offered the culinary position, before I was offered the culinary position, I did the competition, and working with the students, it was like I was embraced. Like nobody really made me feel away. It's always an obstacle I gotta get through. Like there's something that I gotta figure out, whether I could reach the pan or ask someone.
Because those pots are big as hell. I
so
see
big
them
and tall and stuff.
So how do you do that with the big pots?
I don't touch those.
Okay, because that's a hazard.
Yeah, I ain't trying to. I burned my legs enough times.
You did?
Oh, sweat. That's crazy.
When I first got out of the rehab, I was burning myself like.
Not knowingly, right?
Not knowingly, no.
But from cooking,
From like cooking, yeah, for sure.
We all burnt our legs.
It's an adjustment.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's an adjustment. Like okay, I can't do that again. Like nah.
I got a hot cone mark in my leg.
I got a blow dryer on my leg.
Cornbread on one.
Oh my god.
Damn, yeah, it was too hot. Yeah, showered and took some skin.
Yeah.
So my other question is, so you obviously you love cooking, right?
Yeah.
What does like cooking actually like really mean to you, right? Like how do you feel when you like presenting in front of the class or you making something new? Like what is that feeling for you? Like what kind of feeling that gives you?
So there's two parts to it. One is focusing my energy on something that like, so the outside stuff I can't really process and think about, right? So like for me when I was a kid, I was going through all these other things on outside of school. So when I was in culinary class, I would only be able to focus on the process of cooking this thing. So it's about the process for me to focus on one thing and not have so much other clouded judgment, right? And then the other thing is being able to feed people. I come from a single mom who had her own vices, who raised 9 kids on public assistance, never worked a job in her life, barely, we had weekends, 4 days where we didn't eat. Like, there was been, so for me, it's like, food is like, it's like love, right? It's like, it's the same thing for me. It's like, when you feed someone, you love them. When you eat, you feel love. When you know what I mean? It's like nourishment.
I never even looked at food like that.
Food is love. It's a love language.
Love language for sure.
It's a love language. So now let's get into some love.
Let's get into that.
I'm like looking at the love the whole time.
I think you gotta
see what that love is like.
Yeah, this is made by Chef Lay herself. She brought it
I feed you, I love you. Right? That's what my mother started telling chicks. If I feed you, I love you.
She about to share the love, y'all. And this is
Spread the love.
So let's let her break down what exactly we eating.
What we eating, y'all?
I think we should have asked them to bring some napkins.
Some knives?
Some napkins. Y'all can have on hold.
Hey, Wolf, my boy Wolf.
Let me know.
I'm next to it. Yeah.
Yeah, hold that for me so I can untie it.
I like it messy anyway.
Fancy. Look, she got the logo on it, y'all. Let's get a close
Get
up.
a close up.
Soul and Will, y'all. Support Black business.
Yeah, all of that.
So, well, this is dope.
So this is sweet potato cornbread. I call this Ye's Crib. Ye is my mom's name.
Okay.
And she is yeah, you can take one. She is a sweet
Pass me my
fanatic.
French. Okay.
Thank you.
Your mom?
Yeah.
She loves sweets.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to make this for her?
No.
Oh.
It's so
Unfortunately
good.
not.
Okay.
You know, I really, that's something that I have a hard time with. It's like I never really got to like really throw down for my mom.
This is love.
What are we supposed to be looking for when we biting? Because I'm taking a bite, but it's good.
That's the love.
It's diabetes, you know what I mean?
I can feel the love.
I feel the love. So when we tasting it, when you take a bite, what are we supposed to be looking for?
So it's like a sweet and savory. It's not too much of a dessert, but like it has sweet potato in it. It has a little bit of salt on top to balance out the sweetness.
And the salt doesn't make it taste bad. I don't think the salt I taste the salt. It don't make it taste bad.
Yeah, right. It's supposed to balance out the sweetness.
It does.
It's not overpowered.
This
Yeah.
is good.
No, it's fine.
Is this one of when did you start making this design? I don't know what you call it.
You said design.
When did you start making
Probably like a year now. Probably last year I started around October. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, October. And
Yeah.
are your specialties are desserts or
No. I focus on fish and vegetables. I'm pescatarian.
I be seeing your
Okay.
shrimp and grits. I
Lit?
don't want to eat them. I want to eat them so bad. I be
love
mad
shrimp
when
and
she be
grits.
posting. You wake up in the morning, you see somebody cooking and this shit look good. I'm like, God damn.
I know, right?
Dang, turn it. Stop doing that, please.
Yeah, so I focus on a lot of fish and vegetables. And I enjoy cooking everything for the most part, but fish and vegetables is my thing. My cuisine is like Afro-Asian with some Caribbean influence, which is cool.
What is your ethnicity? Because you look like you're mixed with.
His
Hey,
food. He said, what's your ethnicity?
Where you from? What's your
ethnicity?
background?
I'm black.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that's in there, of course, but like, I feel like I don't. Growing up, there was so many people that was like, "Oh, I'm
mixed with
Spanish
this and
and
that."
So I always like, and you see my siblings, like they go from chocolate to like me, fair skin.
Okay.
So I always just identify with being black. My mom has, her dad is Chinese, but I don't know enough about that to like really
claim it.
express that. Yeah,
But
so
you part of that. That's a part of it though. But yeah, she black. Black. The black woman can make
Black,
any
black,
race.
black,
We have
black.
the Eve gene. Black be black, jet black. Black. But yes, no, girl, this is
Nah, it's slavery, right?
this is good as hell.
Fire.
And my stomach is on tilt from, like I said, my stomach hurt a little bit. I'm on my feminine time too. So, but this is
that
good,
time,
child.
yeah.
So, like,
I got crumbs all over.
No, here's
nah, it's slavery. It's
Now
good.
Mr. Healthy, look at this, y'all. Look at your health
Eating smoothies.
Look at your health guru.
Kill
Look at
chips,
these
right?
smoothies and salads. I'm
And
busting
leaves
this
and
shit
shit.
down.
She eat leaves and shit, y'all.
I'm taking advantage, y'all. Fuck that.
So it's like, you're like newly injured, right? I consider that. A lot of people are going to watch this, right? A lot of people are going to be inspired by your story, and a lot of people would probably want to be a chef. You know what I mean? So, what one is advice that you would give to somebody who's probably like newly injured or trying to follow your footsteps, right? What would you say the first step?
Follow my footsteps.
All right,
No,
what's positive thing you would say? You know what I'm saying?
That wants to be a chef or in general?
That wants to be a chef.
or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, you don't know who's watching it that's going to be
Yeah.
very inspired by you, to be honest.
Because a lot of
for
people
sure.
don't think they could do it because of the
Right.
chair. So how would you?
I would say get out of your own way in your own head. I think that was like when I first got injured, I was like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to cook again. And then the first thing I did when I got home is just went in the kitchen and started doing stuff. Now I was a chef prior to me being injured, so it's a little bit different for me. If you're newly injured, if you're injured and you want to become a chef,
Come to her class.
I would say sign
Come to her
up
class.
for my class.
Book her.
But for real, you can hit me up, ask me any questions at any time. I would just say just keep an open mind and really keep an open mind and don't be so hard on yourself and get out of your own head.
So where can they find you at?
Yeah, where they can find you at?
You can find me on Instagram as Soul and Will, SOULANDWHEEL.
And we'll put it in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll drop it there.
You can email me. You go to my website, soulandwill.com, and you can email me directly.
Well, she got a website, y'all. I gotta.
And yeah, basically that.
Okay. And you cater and stuff?
No. I do private events and pop-up dinners. So right now,
Okay.
since I'm building out the mobile restaurant concept, raising brand awareness, funding, and all of those things. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see where I'm going to be at, what I'm doing, get a ticket,
And people can donate through the website?
Yes.
Okay. So support Black business, y'all. Keep saying that. It's Martin Luther King Day.
Right,
you don't stand for something, you're full for anything. And I have a dream that we all gonna be rich one day. Amen. That's what he would have wanted for us. And it's been such a beautiful time having you. Thank you so much for even sharing your story with us, because it takes a lot to do that. Some people not comfortable doing that years into the injury. And I feel like this is going to be the start of a even therapy journey, because you doing your cooking and that's your love right there. But also take care of your mental, because like I said, I'm 11 years in and I'm still having to heal that because I didn't do it earlier. And I wish I did. So try to take some time to, think about the pain a little bit so that you can heal from it. Because sometimes we put it and we compartmentalize, our pain, and we just put it in a little box, and then that shit always sneaks back up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for everybody that's newly injured out there, you see, she outside. It ain't no excuses. You either gonna be at the bottom or the top. Where you want to be.
As soon as I met in the hallway, I said, they're like, we need to get out more. Like, Jesse and I talk about it all the time. We go places and we're like the only person with a disability there. Like, whatever you're passionate about, just try it. Do it. Get out there. Get out of your own way. Get out of your head. Just do it. Like, you'll figure it out along the way. Like, just start somewhere though.
And if you don't believe in nothing, believe in yourself.
Because these muffins is busting.
Sweet potato cornbread, my shit will crumble out.
So this is episode 2. We thank you for coming. We appreciate you
so much, Chef Lay, and we'll put her information in the video. We love y'all.
Bye.
Peace.